MJF returns at All Out. Also, is Malakai Black seemingly gone from AEW? And also, unfortunately, there were a few major AEW stars injured during the show. We'll cover all that in the news right now.
But before we start, and apologies, I'm sat here on my own just for a little bit. While we were filming today's news videos, it all kicked off during the post-All Out media scrum with CM Punk going on a total tirade covering Colt Cabana, Hangman Page. He's gone to town on the EVPs. We couldn't not include this, so normal service will resume very shortly with myself and Jack the Jobber, but wanted to cover this too. So, kicking things off, Colt Cabana, he said, and I quote, and there is a lot of swearing in this, I'm going to have to self-censor as I go on. He said, I haven't had anything to do with Scott Colton, aka Colt Cabana, in almost a decade. Probably wanted nothing to do with him for even longer than that. It's flipping unfortunate that I have to come here and speak on this. I'm a grown-ass adult man, and I decide not to be friends with somebody, and that's nobody else's effing business. But my friends, if I fall backwards, will catch me. Scott Colton, I felt never would have. My problem was that I wanted to bring a guy with me to the top that did not want to see me at the top. You call it jealousy, call it envy, whatever the flip it is. My relationship with Scott Colton ended long before I paid all of his bills. I have every receipt, I have every invoice, every email. I have an email and I quote, I agree to go our separate ways. I will get my own lawyer and you do not have to pay any more. That is an email that I have. The only reason the public did not see it is because when I finally had to countersue him through discovery, we discovered he shared a bank account with his mother. That is a fact. And as soon as we discovered that fact, he sent the email, oh, can we drop all this? Now it's 2022. I have not been friends with this guy since at least 2014, late 2013. And the fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't even flipping manage a target, and they spread lies and BS and put it into a media that I got somebody fired when I have F all to do with him, want nothing to do with him, do not care where he works, where he doesn't work, where he eats, where he sleeps, and the fact that I have to go up here and do this in 2022 is effing embarrassing. What did I ever do in this world to deserve an empty-headed effing dumb F like Adam Hangman Page to go out on national TV and effing go into business for himself? Didn't do a goddamn thing. He continued, regarding seemingly this is in reference to Adam Page, when somebody does a damn thing in this business and jeopardizes the first $1 million house that this company has ever drawn off my back and goes on national television, it's a disgrace to this industry. It's a disgrace to this company. Now we are far beyond apologies. I gave him a flipping chance. It did not get handled, and you saw what I had to do, which is very regrettable, lowering myself to his level, but that is where we are at right now. He also elaborated on his EVP comment from earlier, saying if you're an EVP, don't try and middle your top babyface. Try and get your niche audience on the internet to hate him for something made up BS rumor. It really pees me off. Stepping on your own D, trying to effing make money, sell tickets, fill arenas, and these stupid guys think they're in Reseda. A lot to digest there. He also commented on MJF, who of course returned tonight. We'll talk about that together in a short while. I'm tired of wrestling these pricks. I'm tired of wrestling these kids who think they know everything, but I'm not the boss. I think Max is a supremely talented individual, and this goes for everyone else in the locker room who doesn't want to be here. The grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Max likes to S where he eats instead of watering the grass, so we'll have to see how that goes. He did mention there's so much drama and turmoil going on, but I like to believe in the place I work. We do have a very strong roster, and we have a lot of brilliant minds backstage. So much to digest there. Chris Jericho, during that conference, also saying he stressed that keeping things in-house was important, and it was important for people not to go into business for themselves, I would assume, referencing what CM Punk had said there. Also, Sean Ross Sapp already reporting that there is big heat already on CM Punk from his comments at the post-show scrum. More coming soon. So there you go. There, as I say, is so much to digest. It's going to be a very, very interesting few days, I think. This obviously isn't over yet. Matt Hardy seemingly has tweeted out in support of some of the people that CM Punk has mentioned there. That tweet is on screen now. But yeah, bonkers stuff. A very, very eventful, by far the most eventful post-pay-per-view scrum to date. And it'll be very interesting to see where this goes. Anyway, as I say, normal service will now resume. Please welcome myself and Jack the Jobber for the rest of the news video. Enjoy.
Yes, hello everyone. A very tired Jack and Adam after All Out 2022. It's been a massive weekend of wrestling.
It has. AEW was too long tonight.
15 matches, including the pre-show, but also a lot of news coming out of the show and also just generally in the wrestling world. We'll start with the big one that everyone's going to be talking about. MJF returning at the end of All Out. Surprisingly, but also kind of not surprisingly as well.
Yeah, it was telegraphed. I think everybody knew what was going on. So during the ladder match, the Stokely Hathaway and his boys all masked up, coming into the ring. Stokely climbs the ladder, retrieves the chip, but he doesn't get a future AEW World title match. Instead, the Joker is revealed to be a man in a mask, who is then later revealed to be MJF.
And I don't know if people mentioned this while you were streaming, your reactions, but during the show, we were looking on Twitter and everything, and people found an old Instagram or Twitter post from MJF where he was working out and he said he'd been listening to Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, which played for this mysterious man's entrance and everything. Yes. There's also all the devil imagery and themes used in the Punk feud. And then at the end of the night, after Punk obviously beat Jon Moxley to win back the AEW World Championship, then the lights went out and we heard a voicemail recording of, I think it was Tony Khan, talking to a mysterious person saying, I need you to come back for this. The fans have spoken. You don't have to sign an extension, but I'll offer you X amount. That got bleeped out. And then MJF came out. It was him in the end under the devil mask. I thought he was going to cash in his shot then.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's what everybody was saying in the chat earlier tonight, but it's not the money in the bank briefcase. He gets a future shot. I imagine that they might hold off all the way to Full Gear in November for this.
There's also the Arthur Ashe Stadium show coming up, Grand Slam as well. They could do it there possibly, but it seems like it's a one for a big pay-per-view, doesn't it?
Absolutely, but the autumn of Punk has begun. How long's it going to last? A few months, maybe?
Tom Campbell, I think, was the one who coined the fall of Punk.
The fall of Punk.
Fantastic.
We're British, so that's not...
So yeah, he didn't cash in a shot or anything, but he did. There was a stare down between the two. And
it was really effective, wasn't it? It ended the pay-per-view on a high note after a long and decent but nothing special pay-per-view. There was good stuff.
I certainly liked some matches. I think the key problem is there was just too much stuff.
As always.
Yes. I guess the only criticism people might have is that Moxley's now kind of shuffled off to the side. I suppose that's why they gave him that squash win over Punk in midweek. But yeah. Another surprising element of the AEW show that you might not have seen watching it, but I think both Brian Alvarez and Sean Ross Sapp tweeted this. After the House of Blacks match, which they lost to the team of Miro, Sting and Darby Allin, apparently Malakai Black blew a kiss to the crowd and took a bow and was hugged by his teammates and everything. This follows on from Raj Giri's report a few days ago that he'd requested his release from AEW. He also took the pinfall in the match, which I wasn't expecting as the leader of the group and everything. I thought maybe Buddy Matthews would take the pin, but no.
I genuinely thought they might win the thing. I think a lot of people theorized that a Sting heel turn might be coming, maybe, but that appears to be him gone. I can understand his frustration because he's come in. I don't think he's been presented as well as he should have been, but I also... He's not been there for that long, and maybe if he'd given it a bit more time, they would have utilised him a bit better. Maybe. But I get it, and I think, if he has been released from his contract, which certainly appears to be the case, judging by the blowing of the kiss and the goodbye, that he's sort of one of Triple H's boys, and I think he probably will be presented a lot better if he does go back to WWE, who reportedly were reaching out to several AEW talent.
And also, I think when he first left WWE, I feel like, I'm not certain in saying this, but I feel like he was one who was very keen to not burn any bridges and was very complimentary about them, almost as if he was thinking, well, if there's ever a window back in, then...
Perfect timing now, isn't it?
Bad news now coming out of the show. We've got to talk about some injuries as well. Fightful reporting that Christian is injured, which explains why his match with Jungle Boy was more of an angle, really, than a match.
Yeah, for sure. So we saw the heel turn again of Luchasaurus.
What's he doing?
Comes out. It's crazy. I can't believe... He came out, chokeslammed him on the steel, and then put him through a table, was it, at ringside? And then Christian hitting a spear. hitting the kill switch. That's your lot. It was a very, very quick one. We don't know exactly what the injury is, at point of recording at least. Hopefully he gets well soon. To me, not knowing, didn't know that he was injured and everything, I thought that might be the end to that feud for now. But I imagine Christian will have a bit of time off to recover, and then we'll see that at a future pay-per-view. Hopefully he's well enough in time for Full Gear.
I can't remember who mentioned it when we were watching it in the other room, but I think it might have been Luke or Fraser who said that he was wearing like a big elbow pad on one of his arms apparently. So it could be that, or that could have just been part of his attire. But
he did take some offense. He took a slap.
Well, Jungle Boy's mum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Also, Ruby Soho, 2 scary spots in that opening bout of the pre-show. First, she was kind of being held backwards in like an Alabama Slam almost sort of position by Sammy Guevara, and then Ty came in with a kick, and the way she landed was like right on her neck, and it was quite awkward to watch. Then at the end of the match, she got hit with the Ty KO. It just seemed to break her nose.
Yep.
Like she was covering her mouth and it seemed like blood was coming out. And yeah,
exactly what Mike Johnson is saying, that it was indeed broken during the final. She seemed shook, didn't she?
Yeah.
After that landing, she seemed shook or anyway. And then the finish to the match was a bit dodgy. It didn't quite work out. And understandably, if she's that's happened to her. So hopefully she gets well soon. I can't imagine she'll be off for too long with a broken nose, but hopefully it's nothing serious. And then the neck landing, maybe, hopefully she's not concussed or anything like that.
Hopefully so. One of the more feel-good moments of the show was the FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Gun 6-man tag team match. After the match, it seemed like the heels and their allies were all going to beat down the babyface team. But instead, first Dax Harwood's daughter came out. First of all, we got the big return of Samoa Joe.
Yes,
with his Ring of Honor TV title, which he used to batter Satnam Singh, and then somehow busted himself open.
Yeah, he did an AJ Styles or a Goldberg, didn't he? By the time he was in the ring, there was blood on that man's face. It's really good to see him back. It's really good. I'm a massive, massive fan of Joe. And lovely feel-good moment with Finley.
Yeah.
Little girl Nicholas.
Right, okay, yeah.
Nice.
She came out and snapped Satnam Singh, the pencil he normally has behind his ear.
Yeah.
Snapped it. I guess it was a gimmicked pencil.
Yeah.
Or she's really strong.
And then got the bloody pinfall. So in total, 16 matches.
Yeah.
If we're counting that
Sanjay
one.
Dutt, did I say Satnam Singh? He was already taken care of by Joe. Sanjay Dutt's pencil.
Yeah.
Pinned him. I think it was a cocky Jericho pin, the foot on the chest. Oh,
good for her. She's going to go far, that kid.
Future title will be invented for her.
Absolutely.
By Tony Khan.
What did you think overall of the show? I mean, what happened at is on the channel right now, so you can hear a full rundown there. But
I had mixed reactions. I think after seeing Clash at the Castle, which I think was only 6 matches on the main show.
Yep.
Obviously, the ending was weird with Tyson Fury and everything, but it was very condensed. All the action meant something. Worlds Collide, similar. This one, there were good matches in there, certainly, but then it's just kind of, because everything's all at once, and there were 15 matches, it just felt like too much.
Yeah.
And I don't really... I can't work out whether it was good or not.
I think it's a problem that really needs addressing, because obviously there was nothing wrong with the wrestling. I think some of the booking tonight was a little bit questionable, but yeah, largely really good matches. The one thing that's lacking for me right now is it's not always that fun.
It's fun. You didn't see us in there during the Acclaimed match.
No, that's the best match. That was the match of the night for me. I was gutted when they didn't win.
Fraser was heartbroken.
Yeah,
It was a great match.
It was really fun, wasn't it? That was.
One thing as well, that when you talk about weird booking decisions, Powerhouse Hobbs in 5 minutes beating Ricky Starks. I know they were saying he's not 100% and everything, but he beat him quite comfortably.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Fair enough.
Hobbs. I like him.
I like him as well. It seems like Ricky Starks is one of their guys for the future.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so
they can always build him up. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Well, we'll be back with more news later on as well, so stay tuned to the channel for that. And let us know what you thought of the show in the comments down below. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.